Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino and the National Finals Tonight Show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Preferred, Dewshine, Cactus Saddles, Ram, Montana Silversmiths, Budweiser, 14 Hands and H3 Wines, Crown Royal, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, JP Weisers, Big Tex Trailers, Cow Ranch, LG, Weaver Leather, Boot Barn, Resist All Hats, Rodeo Historical Society, Ecolab, Pilot Flying J, American Cowboy. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everyone. Gosh, what a good-looking crowd here. Thank you so much for coming to National Finals tonight, and what a great night you are here for. We have belt buckles to give away. We have prizes to give away just for you being here this evening. We thank you for coming. How many went to the rodeo tonight? A great round at the rodeo. How many went to the rodeo this afternoon? There's rodeos all you. Oh, man, I love that. Let's get this evening started. This is our 9th year of doing National Finals tonight, and this is our first year of doing it here at the Orleans Hotel and Casino, and we are glad to be here with Boyd Gaming. Let me get our two, this first gentleman's one of our stars, and I just say that because he told me to. Would you welcome 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay here this evening? Donnie.
All right.
Look at that crowd.
Evening.
Great crowd here this evening. And we have one other co-host. We've got a lot on our table tonight, a lot on the plate, don't we?
Who's that?
Yeah, he's also an 8-time world champion. He's bearing gifts, so get ready out there. Would you welcome Joe Beaver? He's here tonight. Joe.
Yeah, okay, so if you want a t-shirt, you gotta raise your hand.
There you go.
Shake it.
Catch it for all the way across. You gotta do more than that. A little more.
Kind of like Marty Gras.
All right.
All the way in. Oh, you got one. You got one. All the way in the back.
Dang it. Plumb out of my side.
I like it.
T-shirts that make you do stupid shit, won't they?
We should say those are all halter tops. And Joe, tell them what you're giving out here.
T-shirts, advertising T-shirts, but they have a purple band on them. The purple band, we started, if you know about me and Donnie, we do the Indian Rodeo, the Indian National Finals every year in November right down here. And diabetes is a big concern on the reservation for the kids. Big concern. Need a lot of study, a lot of research into it. So about 3 years ago, I guess I started selling T-shirts, raised $10,000, LLC'd it, gave it all to them, and said, "Here, run with it." And they have. It is a big
They've done
deal.
a great job
Yeah.
with it.
So that's what the bands are. Enjoy them, wear the T-shirts, put the band on, raise money.
Awesome. This is a groundbreaking day today in Las Vegas, wasn't it, Tom? The Boyd Gaming Shute-Out.
This is virgin territory here, boy.
How exciting. And for the first round, 3,000 people were there at that rodeo this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Yeah. And our buddy Joe B is right in the hunt on this deal, huh?
Yeah, guess what? He was 15-1. Worst odds in the deal.
My boy right there take care of me. Makes me look good.
He made him look good, but you spun him, and the odds ain't that good for gamblers anymore. Good job.
Yeah, that's what they get for thinking I can't do it.
We're told
He'd been sweating this for weeks.
I'm telling you right now, I just dreaded the day that I messed up on TV with McCoy. My boy McCoy puts up with a lot of crap from an old wore-out ass guy trying to win. But today I thought to myself, if ever there's a rope in God, just let me catch.
And catch you did. Yeah. Good for Joe Beaver. And I'm told now, in the gaming, but the great thing is you can go bet on these guys. You can place money on these guys, and your odds have changed.
We've been doing that in the back room for a long time, but now it's...
Hey, I left here last night and told my wife, I said, let's go. We went to the deal. I laid down $3,000 that lady. We can't do that, but so many at a time. I said, well, then give me tags. We just went to betting and betting and betting. I bet on the barrel race. We bet on the bulldogging. We bet on the bull riding. You can't beat it. I mean, we've been wanting to gamble out here for 30 years on rodeo. And if you don't want to gamble on rodeo, then you're gambling on everything else out here. Go to the sports book. Put some money down. Make it fun.
I agree. It's awesome. Really good. Now, round one is in the books. We have our winners from round one here. Beautiful, beautiful belt buckles to hand out. Donnie and Joe, if you'll stand over there, I want you to first take a look at the winning ride in the bareback riding. Jake Vold won round one, 86.5 points. Guys, take a look. Roll it for you. This is 86.5 there, Donnie, in the bareback.
All right. I want you to watch Jake Vold pulling both spurs back to the rigging. Now, this is a nice horse. Did a little trick and fancy right there. Spurred over his neck to one jump. I was worried about the judging right there. I thought, well, they might detract a little bit, but 86.5, way out front. Really a nice bareback ride.
Awesome.
Oh, Canada, we heard it tonight.
Jake Vold is in the house. Would you welcome Jake? Congratulations.
You know, and that was some of his kinfolks, Wayne Vold. Where's he at?
Get this buckle.
There's a photographer right there,
He
Donnie.
sang the national anthem for Canada.
You can't even be quiet for a
big
minute.
deal.
Aren't they pretty? Nice job. Give him a hand. Jake Vold wins round one.
Yeah, well, you know, he's probably going to elevate and be at the big show next year, so we can enjoy him tomorrow afternoon.
One more time.
Let's talk about the steer wrestling, gentlemen. Billy Buganig is no stranger to Las Vegas. Take a look at his winning run right here,
Billy,
Joe.
Tell you what he does. He hammers the barrier right there. Rides all the way up, gets a good head catch, brings this one around, lays him down, wins the first go around, been to the national finals. But when you can't go to the national finals, the next best thing is to be at the Orleans at the Boyd Gaming Cinch Shootout.
Right.
Billy,
come on out,
winner,
Billy
come on
Buganig.
out.
Come on in here, big man. Okay, wait a minute.
You want to get between us? Because you ain't got no chance nowhere else.
Where's that box?
I'm not getting on the box.
Awesome, guys. Give him a hand.
Hey,
Billy Buganig right there.
You notice how quiet he was between me and him? We had him where we wanted him.
You hadn't seen me speechless in a while, but man,
And how about the team roping, which is what, Joe? Let's talk about our winners in round number one. Travis Tryon, Dakota Kirkenslager, and let's take a look at their run. Joe, talk about it.
Last team out. Spoiled my victory lap right here. Travis Tryon, many times in the national finals. Dakota rides around him, and I mean the first legal hop. 2 feet, sets him down, wins the go-around, the first go-around at the Boyd Gaming Shootout. Travis, Dakota,
come on out here. Give him a hand, would you please?
All right.
And smile for the
I'm
camera.
just going to get used to it.
You could step up on that first step back there, Donnie. Would be. Congratulations, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Nicely done. Give him a hand right there. All right. In the saddle bronc riding, Donnie, let's give this a call. Our buddy Jesse Bale wins round one, 84 points. Take a look at it right here, Donnie.
All right, you know, I mean, this guy, he's been a wild man and a cowboy for a long time. I'm going to watch it up here on. Oh, here it comes. The horse stalls, gets a free roll. Hey, this is really good. Watch him extend the feet, setting his feet, every jump. Nice horse. Little flying dismount at the end. 12 times to the Wrangler National Finals in the bronc riding and the bull riding. Okay, yeah, I still got it, and he still does. How about a round of applause for Jesse Bale?
Amen. Come on out, Jesse.
My buddy from South Dakota.
Way to work, Jeff.
Get right over here in the middle. We'll make it look pretty.
Now there is an all-around cowboy. Perfect. Jesse Bale, give him a hand, will you? Round one winner in the saddle bronc riding. Go ahead, Donnie.
Montana Silversmith buckle. Well, it's the nicest buckle he's won in a long time. He's glad to get it. Round of applause for these guys, folks. We're seeing some of the best cowboys in the world, and I mean, it's just like a gimme.
Hey, he really isn't kidding. That's a damn nice buckle.
They're beautiful.
You know, a lot of these you win, you just over there because you don't want to wear them. But
Joe, let's
that
turn it
one's
this
worth
way.
wearing.
Travis, can you get a shot of this, Travis? Travis,
Well,
right there.
we're
Can you get a
serious
shot?
on this show, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Truthful.
Beautiful.
That one's worth keeping.
Yep, absolutely.
You know,
beautiful.
and the thing about this is what I'm so proud of is opening day. I mean, we had a glitch or two, as you might imagine. You know, first time, first performance. Well, I mean, you know, just because the damn fire marshal had a stroke, that's all right. We're okay. You know.
Hey, if you were down in the arena, we were all just cruising around the little moat in the back going to the other end, and all of a sudden, and the door's shut, and you're trapped, you can't go anywhere. And my poor little boy McCoy's like, where we go? I said, we're fixing to get hot if this is for real, because there ain't nowhere to go now. But it's just a small glitch in a major production.
You know what? Yeah, but a lot of fun. I sat right there and watched it. We're going to make it better. We're going to tweak it and work it. But Boyd Gaming has been an integral part of the National Finals Rodeo, the Las Vegas experience, since 1985. And I would like a round of applause for all of the Boyd Gaming family. Bill Boyd and his family, they've just been outstanding in support of professional rodeo.
And honestly, Donnie, a great crowd for the first performance.
You bet.
I mean, that's what we're looking for. Give y'all something else to do, fan-friendly, and I think success first day.
I was going to say, my God, how many times can you go shopping?
Yeah, go to the rodeo. Let's talk about the tie-down roping, Joe Beaver. J.C. Malone, 7.92. Take a look at the run.
Just barely missed the national finals this year. He won't be with us next year. Blows the barrier out, 2 swings. He says, hey, I got a good horse, and he does, and that makes it easy. This kid walked right through this black calf like he was having lunch at Wendy's. Nothing to it. Ordered it, put it up, won the day money. We probably won't have him next year because he'll be down the street. J.C. Malone wins the day money.
Welcome, J.C. Malone, right here. Attaboy. 7.92 seconds.
You know, you can do this tomorrow if you just do that, you know, something similar to that.
Can you just be quiet while we take a picture?
Too much money.
Isn't that a sincere smile on Donnie? Kind of remember.
I mean, you know, the most I ever won in my life, $63,000, and that was the 8th one. You know,
it's unbelievable.
Clayton Foltine won $85,000 riding 1 8-second ride.
Yeah, but $63,000 was a lot of money in 1954.
Yes, it was.
Ow!
All right, let's bring out our barrel racing champion for round number 1 from down under. Carmel, right, 1535. Take a look at it, Joe, and talk about this run by Carmel.
The Kiwi cowgirl right here. Watch this. Okay, right turn first. She comes in there and sets it up. Gets ooches right around it right there, rocks it just a little bit, but it doesn't go down. To the second. There's been a lot of barrels down in this event the first go-around, so she knows if she leaves them standing, she's going to win something. She gets around all 3 straight from New Zealand a few years back. Carmel Wright's a champion. Here we go.
Come on in, Carmel.
Carmel, come on out here. Congratulations. I like that hat. There, Donnie, stand beside her. Now you go.
Finally, Donnie's got his size.
Yeah, you know, I made her talk in the green room back there. I said, man, she ain't from Houston.
Congratulations. Thank you, Carmel.
Sweet lady.
Yep.
Nice horse.
Donnie, we ended up with a tie in the bull riding. We'll get another buckle, but let's take a look at these gentlemen at work. 82 points for both of them. First of all, the ride by Trevor Kastner, if you'll talk about it.
Well, Trevor was the first bull rider out. A lot of times, that's not what you want. I mean, it's really not, but this bull just jumped out, turns back to the left away from his hand, finally got it up on my monitor, but this is a perfect ride. Looked like Sage Kimsey, doesn't it? Got the elbow down, spur with the outside foot. Need to work on that get-off maybe just a little, but I liked it. It didn't hurt me at all. You know, but
let's take a look at Jeff's
sold a ticket or two.
Okay, so back one more time. I just like the way Trevor Kastner gets it going. He's been here, almost made it this year, but he wasn't riding like that. He was straining, and boy, it doesn't take but just a little bit. Bulls are good. Trevor Kastner made a great ride, but we had one more.
Jeff Askey also has 82 points, and guys, if you have that, let's take a look at that as well. A tie for the first time out. There you go.
All right, now Jeff Askey, he comes in, college cowboy, Martin, Tennessee, Bull turns back into his hand. He makes a really nice ride, just spurring him, waiting on it, and he's just waiting on a check right there. He's riding extremely well, Jeff Askey. Now, has a little trouble getting off, but he finally does. None the worse to wear. How about both our bull riders out here, Trevor Kastner, Jeff, y'all come on out.
Let's cut away to that, guys.
Since
Here they are.
Trevor's
Gentlemen,
older,
nicely done.
we didn't flip. Trevor's been to the National Finals. He's a little bit older. We got a college guy. We want him to come here. So, Jeff, you get this buckle. Montana Silversmith is going to make another one. You'll have that in your trophy case and photo op. And they're still taller than me. Probably should have went to college, too. But
All right,
Thanks,
the
you
first
guys.
round.
Congratulations.
The inaugural round is in the books.
it is in the books.
Write it down. It started right here, and it's going to get bigger and better.
And we do it all again tomorrow, right, guys?
Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout is going to be a hot ticket in town.
Let me tell you, this is a hard sell. We all know him and love him, but Cody Old's a hard sell. And he comes by there, we get through today, and Dean Oliver, Dean Oliver's 80-something years old and 10 or 11-time world champion. And he and Cody and I and Roy Cooper and Dean all got together and took a kind of a picture for the books, And Cody we started leaving, he grabbed me by the arm, he said, "Hey, B, this thing's going to get big, isn't it?" And I said, "I think it is." And if Cody Old thinks it is and he's pumped up about it, something's going right over there.
I think they did a great job.
Awesome. Let's move on. Yeah, give them all a hand. Let's move on here, guys. As I mentioned, we're glad to have you here with us at National Finals tonight. We would love you to participate during the show. If you have a question for anybody that's on our panel or any of the guests that come out, if you will text those questions to us, and here's the phone number to do that, 702-983-0638. It'll be up there on the big screens. Send your questions up. Also, we're going out on YouTube, and if you want to see this show tomorrow, or if you knew somebody up here getting a buckle, you can check all of that out on YouTube. Well, round 8 now in the books for this National Finals Rodeo, and nothing is getting clear cut. Things are still up in the air. If you didn't have a chance to watch Donnie and Joe do it live on television tonight, you get to see them do the highlights from round number 8. Donnie, if you'll start it off with the bareback riding, the NFR round number 8.
All right, well, there was almost a crack in the armor, it looked like to me.
Yes,
There you go.
it did.
We've been watching all these guys. Stephen Peebles has been trying to catch Casey Fields for the World Championship. He's riding a world champion bucking horse called Full Baggage, Frontier Rodeo bucking horse, and he rides him great. This is the eliminator pin, starts with a great mark out. Look at him beating the horse's front feet to the ground, full leg extension, toes turned out, right straight down that horse's back. You can't ride a bareback horse any better than that, and I'll guarantee you that's as good a ride. He could have been 90-something. He's 89
Yeah, but what about
and a
that?
half.
What about that bucking horse, too? Ooh.
Wow.
All right, in the steer wrestling, Luke Branquino, finally, I might add that Stephen Peebles and Luke, my tattoo guys, my tattoo league, look at him. He said, before he gave you that booty shuffle, but watch, he catches his steer so much better tonight and stays up over him. In other words, he's not behind reaching for the nose. He wiped that steer out, 3-5. Luke finally wins the go-around and gets on the road. Luke Brown, Colin Von On, this could be the run that set them up for the World Championship. Tonight, he blows a barrier, hangs it on him. Colin Von On, grapefruit size trying right there. Takes this throw, does not back off. A lesser healer doesn't take this chance, but with the falters that went on tonight, this gives these guys a chance to win the World Championship. Watch that. Swings him into his loop, feet are wide. He tries it on, and they get paid. 3-6. These guys are in the battle for the World Championship now.
3-6, the team roping has been great. Saddle bronc riding likewise. Okay, so changing of the guard. We saw Cody Wright make a great ride, win second here today. Well, Sunset Rusty Wright, he comes out. Lipstick and Whiskey is this horse's name. 87 points, and this little kid is riding like he's the real deal. Watch it. I just love the way he never strains, sets his feet in time with the bucking horse. They have a lot of horse sense because of all that family. A lot of history there. Bronc riding was terrific.
All right, you want to know why they call him the king of the Cowboys? Trevor Brazile. How about Ty's arena record? 6-5. And he does it in easy form. Look at this. It looks like he's in no bind. He's older now. He's crippled. He's whatever. Guess what? He's not done. Trevor Brazil ties one in 6'5". Cody O has a record until tonight. He ties it with him. He wins a go-around. He moves up a spot in the average. And he's got a chance to win a gold buckle. You don't see him excited very often. He was tonight. In the barrel racing, we've talked about Michelle McLeod. When this horse pops her head leaving the alley, and when she makes the second barrel, watch, that isn't an easy ride right there. When he ate the second barrel up, I said on TV, look out, tonight's the night. And he clocks, runs a 13.72, wins a go-around. This race is kind of between two, but she's won $75,000.
All right, well, you know, Joe Frost is one of those Boyd Gaming Ambassador bull riders. He's that because he's really, really good. Round to the left, away from his hand, making a nice right check. This is total control from a kid that is just now figuring out just how good he is. Watch Joe Frost. Watch this bull. It's up and down, but you have to control your body and you have to stay up on the rope. Look at his free hand. Keeps his elbow down, everything working out toward the bull's head. Moves his feet when he needs to. You know, I guarantee you he could have talked to one of the bullfighters right there. 85 and a half. Great bull ride. That's his second go-round, so he's already won over 80,000.
Good job, guys. Give him a hand. Round number 8, doing it live for you right there. Donnie, we've had a couple of questions come in here, so let's just quickly go down this one. This first is, when is the NFR moving to the new Las Vegas arena? And that...
Well, I don't think it is.
No.
You know, unless the city of Las Vegas wants to redo the contract, which is going to mean more money. But we have a $10 million a year with increases, automatic increases for 10 years at the Thomas and Mack, and so they're probably not going to move it. I know the only real dirt event that they're planning on having in that next year is the PBR finals.
Yep, exactly right. And when they open it, I was told
tonight. It cost
a
lot to put dirt in one of these buildings and then to set up for livestock, and so they can do the PBR finals. You know, there's 45 players, period. Nothing
the bigger
else.
they are,
now you got to bring
now
you got to bring horses,
and
trucks,
trailers. The bigger it
is,
the more it costs. You know that.
No place to park.
Yep. And no place to park. That's the key. Here's another one, Donnie. You can do this one if you would. Size requirements for saddles used in the saddle bronc riding.
They are the old standard association saddles. You know, the best ones are Severe saddles. You know, Duff Severe up there in Pendleton, Oregon. But you know, they have very few guidelines. Most of the time, the only time you ever get checked is to make sure that that's dry rosin on your shafts and the swells of that saddle. And I hope the judges don't go through the locker room. They might find it being a hair stickier than that.
To think a bronc rider would cheat to ride one of those nice horses.
I don't know why they would.
That.
Heck, they can ride forever anyway.
All right, we appreciate that question. Joe, you kind of addressed this one during the run for Luke Branquino tonight. They said, what changes did he make?
Luke, you know, he has not been riding his horse all the way to his catch. If you noticed, a lot of times Luke looks like he's crawling off early, and he's a big guy. When he crawls off early, he needs to steer to throw his head up and slow down so he can catch him to get his go. He's also, when he's been catching him, his left leg's bent when he hits the ground, and he's leaning back. Luke does his best work when he's up over the horns. He sets his feet, gets his left horn pulled down. He's up over them. He's got so much strength in his upper body. That's how he makes a steer kick. And he hasn't done that till tonight. And tonight I thought it looked like a different Luke. It looked like a totally different guy riding to the steer. When he set it up, you could see him up over the horns. When you see Luke up over the horns sliding, you know they're going to kick. And he might win the next 2 rounds too.
The one question that I had about Luke, has his horse been firing out as he started down?
Yeah, because
like
let me tell you
tonight?
why. Dakota is riding the same horse. And Dakota Eldridge, he owns the horse. He's getting great goes. Luke's not getting great goes. You can't blame it on the horse if one guy's getting good goes and one guy's not. And Luke hasn't. He said on the interview tonight, he said, hey, my horse has been firing. I've not done a good job this week riding my horse and catching the steer. And that's what world champions and classic guys do. They don't blame the horse or other things. They look in the mirror, they fix the problem, they blame the guy that's responsible, and 9 times out of 10, it's your reflection.
Okay, thank you for the questions. We appreciate that. Yep. Let's go ahead and get our first guest out here. This young man,
right.
gosh, 21 years old. Is that right, Joe? This young fella? Gosh.
That's it. That's my boy.
That's depressing, isn't it? This young fella in the tie-down roping. Marty Yates is here tonight. Would you welcome this young fella?
Don't feel bad in this Texas convention, Dan.
Boy, I see that. Yeah, make it rough on a Wyoming
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, we're not proud of our Texas guys. Donnie's got a bulldog and a neighbor winning. And then we got Marty Yates to throw out there in the mix, a little Texas boy that ropes okay. So, you know, we love Wyoming, but Texas.
I understand. Marty, this is this event still, Joe, is just, I don't know who's in the lead now, but
It's wide open. I mean, we talked about it tonight. You know, I wanted him to get money tonight because I thought, you know, guy wins a couple more day money big checks, and that average he could move up a little bit. He has one rut row. He broke one barrier, and that's going to hurt him in the average race, you know, and that's going to knock him down. But the guys that were supposed to win this event, they're not going to win it. It's going to be from down in the pack, so we're definitely not through yet.
No, definitely not. I like he said, in the 5th round, I broke the barrier, and that made my chances go from pretty good to they're not so good. But I think I've been doing a good job of just getting in the barrier and getting the neck. You know, from last year, I didn't have so much luck. I won 3 go-rounds, don't get me wrong, but I missed the other half of them. So it's nice to be able to come out here and be able to get good goes and rope the neck, actually, this year.
It's a more mature roper. And to say, I'm going to go back a few rounds. What round did you win in 7-5? What did you tell the great Kev? Okay, 2nd round. And I told him when he got through, it's the best run he's ever made. This Kev is not a 7-second Kev. He tied him in 7-5. And they've run him twice since. And world champion Shane Hinchy run him to 90. And, I mean, he had his way with him. You know, so what we're seeing is the development of the things that make a world champion. Donnie's talked about it, and you have to be able to think, and you got to be able to win and shake it off. Last year, boy, everybody was, you know, we were boy wonder, and everybody was proud and tapped him on the back when he got home. You know, and the first thing he says this year, I got to catch them all. I got to start winning more. That's what you do when you want to get better.
Yes, sir. That's what my game plan coming out here was. I would love to win 3 go-rounds getting out here, but no, I want to catch them all, and I want to place in the day monies, not just win first and be able to win 2 checks on Saturday. That was my biggest goal coming out here, was to win 2 checks Saturday. And if I keep going what I'm doing, that 2nd check might not be as big as I wanted it to be, but at least I'll get one.
That's a great progression, though, when you know you're going to get 2 checks on Saturday and just how good you do, you know, how big that check is.
Yes, sir, for sure.
let's take a look at tonight's run
Okay,
first, Joe.
tonight,
This is
I mean,
8-3 run.
Yeah, one got away from him tonight. And the only reason he is watch. He blows the barrier out, ropes from out there, and see how fast he hits the ground? He had that slack in his hand to control the go. And guys like Marty that are young and fast, you don't want them to hit the ground unless they're kind of a wild or running calf. Now watch this. First swing, down over the front, right where it's supposed to be, tight around the neck. See how he's got it? And then he lets it go. When he lets it go, the calf goes off his feet. Then he's got to stand him up, and the clock is not your friend when this happens. It goes fast. But where we dodged the bullet was right there.
Yeah, really what got me right here is that calf was supposed to be really slow and go left, and when I nailed the barrier, she was straight. And then when I got it on her so fast, I kind of was like, okay, you can get some day money right here. So then I just let go and got off too early instead of sitting there and waiting and just letting it happen. And then right here, I barely got her flanked, and go to tie her right here, and I mashed, and I'm thinking, just put 2 wraps on her, and I wasn't worried about getting in there and getting it tight, and then she almost got up, and that would have been bad.
Here's the deal.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, here's the deal. Last year, you know, at this given deal, he had been throwing when he hit the barrier, and he wouldn't even thought about the go. If I'd have said something about the go afterwards, he'd looked at me like I was speaking Portuguese, you know? And now, because he wants to be better, because he's advanced, he picks himself apart. Now, right there, if he stays on in the saddle that much longer, he turns that calf around and he wins 2nd to go around. And if you win 2nd to go around, it's more money every night, and then you got your chance to come back. But with 2 go rounds left, your chances are decent.
Yeah, I really like my chances in the next 2 going rounds. These set of calves aren't the best. I mean, I know Trevor tied one in 6-5 tonight, but he's an animal, so he doesn't count. But
You know, the calf he tied in 6'5", Donnie, we talked about one night here, was the one Matt Shizawa ran to the buck and shoot.
All the way to the buck and shoot,
Roped
yeah.
him down there where they were putting bull ropes on, was 13. But Trevor Brazil, if you cut him open, he's going to bleed ice water all over your floor. And then he just pulled it out tonight.
exactly. We were talking back there in the back, and the main thing Trevor does is he rides the barrier and gets in the pen every night, whether it's team roping or roping calves. Tonight, he spun one of the fastest steers of the.
He should have won both go-rounds tonight. He should have been over $6 million tonight.
He just didn't look like, when he roped that calf, he held that slack, and it seemed like it was a long time that he got to the calf and got tied, and it's 6'5", and I'm confused.
Yeah, that's Trevor Brazil. He's
Well,
I don't know how old he is, but
and that's what
he
we've
can
been
still do
working
it.
on him for this year so much, is when Marty looks the slowest, he's the fastest. Because he's young and he's strong and he's quick and he's got a good horse, all that falls into place. Let's take, and I'm not picking on him, but let's take your running buddy Hunter Herron this week. He's running over himself trying to win, and he looks fast, but he's long. It doesn't work that way. Trevor looked slow tonight. He was fast. The night Marty won the go-around, he looked like he was forever out there. I about had a stroke over there to get your hands up, and then I looked at the clock. I'm like, ooh, man, that was good.
Let's take a look at last night's run. We were talking about that. This run last night, 6 and 9, I think. Joe, if you guys will talk about it.
Yeah, this was just a great run. See how patient he was right there, and he really turned that calf around? But the whole different deal is the flank. When you flank one, and Donnie and I have talked about that so many times, he's on the barrier, he ropes him. Now watch, he's going to stay there just a little bit to make sure he turns him, but watch. See the front end? When that calf's front end is already up when you hit him, you don't have to do anything to flank him, do you?
No, just step back. You already got him flanked, and that was a great calf. And to me, that was a huge run for me because I knew how good my calf was, and I knew I needed to get some day money right there. And that was big for me to be able to step up in a pressure run and make that run because on that great of a calf.
And let me tell you why. Because hey, all the other 15, 14 guys, they know what you got. And there's 4 or 5 of them, and they can't help it. They'll meet you coming in. Do you know what you got? Man, he's got the best one on him. Boy, you know what Marty's got?
4 or 5 of them.
Well, I'm being nice.
That's
I'm being nice.
slow playing them, guy. Yeah. Put a
Oh,
little
and
pressure on
they
them.
come with all of their bull crap. And you just think, they got Corey Solomon the other night. They talked Corey Solomon out of winning the go-around. He had a calf they tied in 6'8", something like that. And Corey, by the time he roped, his eyes were that big, and he was just about to just run over himself, and he did. He was 10 or something. And I told little Marty before he roped, the night of this calf, I turned around and put my mic down and said, hey, slow down and don't get ahead of him. And look at the run he made. 6'9".
That was this calf. The calf you're talking about.
Okay, there we go.
Solomon ran this calf.
6'8" on him the first time, right? Then Corey and Corey can tie one as fast as anybody. I'm not taking nothing away. But the other guys, it's not all that friendly down there in that alley. I mean, the bull riders might be friendly. The calf ropers, they're not very friendly.
That was my first year. Last year, coming out here, everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. And you get back there in the back, and at every rodeo, we go to 75 rodeos, hey, every guy's like, yeah, the start's this. Good job, man. They're hollering for you. No, not Thomas and Mac. Not back there, no. You're on your own.
I'm telling you, I've said it all along. If you had an idea what went on back there, I'm standing there watching the TV, and I'm not supposed to pay attention over here. And I'll see a guy just really close to the barrier, and you don't hear you're out. At the rodeo, you'll hear 14 of your friends, you're out, for $1,000. This is for $26,000. And you hit the barrier, you're like, and nobody says anything all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everybody's blind and stupid.
Yeah, that's like the other night when I broke the barrier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear one guy, they go, yeah. And so the whole time I think
And
I'm
he
out,
lied.
not one guy said, broke it.
And he lied.
Not one guy.
And it comes from right over here. And when they go through the barrier and they say, yeah. I almost took my mic down and said, yeah, what, you dumbass? He just broke the barrier. But you never heard anything different, did you? Oh, never. This National Finals is more than you think.
I want to add, this is your second time here, and just for you, Marty, your approach to it different coming in because now you knew how it was going to be back there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The first year, you never know how it's going to be. You talk to every person that's ever roped, and I've been able to have guys like Joe B., Cody, Trev, everybody in my corner, and they can tell you all you want, but you don't ever know until you do it. You live and you learn, and that's the only way it's going to work, and sometimes you got to learn stuff the hard way, and I did just that, and hopefully I'm learning from it.
Well, everybody in here that's got kids, teenagers especially, you always try to tell them, honey, they might not really be your friends. That you know them, you go to school with them, you're acquainted with them, but they're not really your friends. And then they roll their eyes at you. Well, you know, he don't roll his eyes at Joe anymore.
You know what's cool about it, and I've been able, like Donnie says, lucky enough to be in the bull room. I'm lucky enough that there's 4 or 5 guys, and I mean some guys that win a lot, that still, ask, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But the guy, and I used to do it every year before the National Finals, I had one guy that could really help me, and that was Barry Burke. And I would call Barry, and I'd go rope with him, or I'd go get tuned up, because Tom Brady has a quarterback coach, and he's the very best I think that there is, And for Marty to still, want a little tuning up, need a little help, smart enough to go find it, smart enough to do things, that's what builds careers. Because if you're never satisfied with how good you are, you will always be better.
That's exactly right, and that's like Joe said. He couldn't have said it any better right there. And I go to him just like he says. He went to Barry Burke. Joe B drove the other night. I bet he got home at 3 o'clock in the morning. He come to my house and helped me rope late. It was like 30 degrees outside.
It was butt cold.
Yeah.
But you know what? It doesn't get too cold, Donnie. You've been through it too. It doesn't get too cold or too far when a kid that wants to be better needs a little tuning or help and calls. It doesn't get too cold or too hot.
They already have the talent, but sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees.
Yep.
It's so funny. And the hats off is to guys like you, because I watch you, with these guys as you talk to them. I haven't said, but I see you with the kids at the INFR, and I see you getting on a plane and flying back to Connecticut where they don't have horses to ride to teach them how to rope.
Joe B will sell you one.
The guy is cool, but he'll find him one, won't he, Marty?
Well, Joe, there's Marty, Shane, Hanchy, Corey, Marcos, this young group of...
Oh, definitely. And we talk about it, too. There's about 7 or 8 of these young guys. And Cody is Cody Ole. You never take him away. Trevor Brazil, great tonight, Trevor Brazil. But Fred Whitfield. But I'm telling you now, people, there's about 6 that we talked about the other day. And when we left the other night, my wife and I talked about the difference in a few of them. A few of them have that burning desire that guys like me and Fred and Cody had. Brent Lewis, there's a few of them. But the guys that have that burning desire, because just like he said, man, when it was 30 degrees out there that night, I don't know how many you ran till we got it right, but we were there a while. That's the difference in the champions, and that's the difference in the fly-by-night people. And this kid right here, he's a champion. He's got a great family behind him.
You bet.
He's got good people, and he is the future of tie-down roping.
I love it. Marty Yates, would you give him a hand?
All
Awesome.
right, round of applause. And he ain't done yet.
How about that?
Good kid.
How about that?
Real deal.
Yeah. And I'm glad that he said that, Joe, about you, and I'm glad that Donnie said that about you as well. This guy gives so much back. I know this sport's
to have
given you
been
a
so
lot.
mean to stock contractors that furnish calves at rodeos and stuff, to be so mean to them, how he can be so nice to everybody else.
Yeah. And Joe, that hasn't changed what he's talking about since
Made
when
me
you were
sell
roping.
my company.
Once you get here, all bets are off.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't hardly give those buckles away while I go to Travis, Dakota. I almost hit him with them so we could keep them, me and McCoy.
We should tell people, what was your time today at the Chute-Out?
Honestly, I don't know. They were 4'8". We were 5'2".
I got it. You were
5'2".
5'2".
5'2". All right.
And a real slow 5'7" was third.
Yes. Yeah. Could have even been a... But I'm not going to mention Crossfire on this show.
Ah, gotcha.
Well, I saw Boogie, Boogie Ray and them, they made a nice run, but boy, that was a little close.
Yeah, Boogie Ray is, he lives on the edge. He is my kind of guy.
First time I saw Boogie Ray, I was riding I was fixing to go get my horse to rope, and I'm walking across in front of the box. I got roped by both feet and jerked down, and I looked back, and there's this little bitty skinny little urchin, got a T-shirt on, he's barefooted, and he's got me roped, and he sat back dally just like that. And I said, "Who is that?" And they said, "That's Boogie."
He hadn't changed much, in case y'all
Ain't
wonder.
changed a bit.
Let's get our next guest out here. This young man is a world champion in 2007. got injured the other night. I called him today and I said, could you come out and be with? He said, I'll be there, man. Wesley Silcox is here in the bull riding. Would you welcome him?
Champ of the world.
Here's that little bit of a concussion.
Yeah, we can go through this again. Good evening, Wesley.
You were the
How you
topic
guys
the other
doing?
night. You were a good
Yeah,
topic.
I'm sure.
Donnie, he just couldn't believe what he said, this isn't right.
Well, I don't remember exactly which round it was, but so he wins. He bucks off his first, I don't know how many, 3 or 4.
Yeah, more than I should have.
You were really angry, so we didn't talk much. And so then he jumps out there and he rides the bull I thought Brendan Eldred would ride tonight. Heck, he didn't even warm him up.
Yeah, I told Brendan that he was probably going to win the round on that
I thought
bull.
so too. I really
He
did. I was
texted
really
me and
pulling
called
for
me.
him.
I said, that bull's going to fall out there, leap and spin around the right. And, yeah, it didn't work out.
You know, I felt bad for Brennan, but of course you rode him, won the day money, and that's that, $26,000 or whatever. And so I'm thinking Wesley's off and running. The next night, I didn't know the bull that Wesley had, and I don't know if you did, but it didn't matter. He hit the ground so stinking hard, I thought, oh my God, he didn't even bounce. He just went, right in front where everybody walks all night long.
Hard.
Real hard. So anyway, he don't bounce and everything, but he waits there for just a second. He gets up, and staggers out of the arena. Justin Sports Medicine guys, they're all around him and everything. So they take him to the medical room. So we're doing the show, and I got a note. Wesley has a little bit of a concussion.
Yeah.
And that's what they said. That's what it said. And I said, that sounds like, are you a little bit pregnant? And so, he's back the next night, and I think he's fixing to just cut loose. Any minute, I'm thinking he's going to be, for him, a lot of times it's 90 or nothing, and this bull throws him off, and it was the old yard dart thing, except he didn't hit in the yard. He hit the chute gate and all that steel post right on
metal.
His head. I'm talking about the lights was on, and there was no one home. Wesley was out.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, and I lost my bull rope, and I was still trying to hang on a little bit, and he flung me, and I hit something hard right on top of my head, but and I didn't know what happened. The lights were on. I just couldn't move, but and then everybody was surrounding me, and when I got back into sports medicine, they said they were clearing tables. They thought I was going to be dead, basically, but. Luckily my resistol saved me and got a dent in the top of my head, but hopefully be good to go tomorrow.
So he does. So you did the concussion protocol with Dr. Tandy Freeman. Who is a great doctor, by the way. So kind of tell us a little bit about that. But we hear all this stuff all the time.
I went and saw Tandy yesterday morning about 10 o'clock. And I think he'd pretty much made up his mind that I wasn't ready to ride, because all he had to do was look me in the eye, and he probably knew that. But I wanted to go through the tests, and I'm glad I did, because I had to run back and forth and do some push-ups, and I was feeling pretty good, like I was going to pass. And I went and sat down on a bench, and he told my wife was there, and he told her that when I come in there, I'm going to be pale, I'm going to be sick looking, but I was feeling good. I sat down about 20 seconds later, I just melted. I was sick and lightheaded, and then that's when I basically knew that I wasn't ready to ride.
Okay, so at the National Finals, when you turn one out, you have to turn the next one out subsequently. So you can't just turn one out you were scared of or something and then get back on the next day. So he misses 2 bulls. So that was last night you missed a bull, and tonight you missed a bull. So he can take the test in the morning, and he could be, if he passes the test, he could get on Friday night. If he's got any question about it, this is what you and I talked about, because he thought you had to turn, if you didn't get on tomorrow night, then you had to turn the next one out. That's not the way that it's always been. He's already turned 2 out, so you can take the test, and really make a decision based on how you feel, because you can wait till Saturday to get on.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. Donnie told me that, but that's going to make my decision a little bit easier in the morning, and regardless what Tandy
because whether
says.
he passes or not, he could tell Tandy to take a flying leap and get on anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the way it is.
And I do know the bull that I have tomorrow. His name's Wipeout. It's not a very good name, but
Not when you're a little bit concussed.
No, not very good, but I think I'm
especially with a little bit of a concussion. Yeah.
Yeah, but JB won the World Finals on him a couple years ago. He's 93, and then I saw another video of him. Somebody was 89, and with the Pen of Bulls out tomorrow. And I do honestly feel pretty good today and feel like I could have rode today maybe. But the Pen of Bulls that's out tomorrow, I don't see very many guys riding. And I think I got one that I can stay on and win.
Let's take a look, Donnie, at him riding. You mentioned this ride earlier. This is from round 5, 86 points.
This is
ride.
a bull that I thought Brennan was going to ride tonight. I mean, we were pulling, but so he's riding this bull, just cranking her back. Broken Arrow is the bull's name, and trying to work him back off his bull rope. He's not spinning real fast and kicking in a tight spin. He's moving ahead. It's a jerk ahead. Watch him trying to slide him off his rope. See his back? Now watch him gather himself. This is a outstanding. People don't realize just how good a bull ride this is. The judges certainly didn't. So, just keeps drug up there. That was just so good. If you can't be 91 or 2 on that right there, then you just can't be.
Yeah, it definitely felt like I was going to be 90. That was a little tiny bull. He wasn't very big at all, and I didn't have a hold with my spurs hardly at all. I just kept shuffling them forward and kept moving to the front and pulling on my bull rope. And about right here, I was thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't. I thought about maybe getting out of there, and then I decided I needed a paycheck, so.
Stay there.
I'm going to hang on just a half a second longer.
But now, and I tell people, I said, those 3 little bullfighters out there, they look like, 3 blue heeler pups working a cow. They just, you're hardly not going to get hooked.
Yeah, when I nod my head and I see, before the rodeo starts, I see guys like those 3 out there. I don't have any. I could have the meanest bull in the world. I could have a Mexican fighting bull, and I wouldn't have any worries that I'm going to get hooked. They're the greatest, and they've definitely saved my life a time or two.
I can watch, stuff like that just forever. But, for this group of guys, so you're the veteran guy. You're 30, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 30.
Okay, 30 years old, and you've got family. You got to make decisions. You're thinking, I'd like to be home and everything, and you can't be when you're making a living riding bulls. And at some point in time, you got to figure out when it's time to step off the bus and put the rigging bag in the closet and do something else. And I know at 30, I had thought about it. What am I going to do? You go through a lot of emotions. You get bored with it. And then it's easy for a while, and then there's sometimes you think you can't find your butt with both hands, and you're thinking, I bucked off about 5 in a row, and 2 or 3 of them was hit Mesquite. My dad rode by, and he said, and you're the champion of the world. It must be easy out there. And I'm thinking, that's kind of hard on you mentally. It really is. You got to look back. But
yeah, I agree.
How long do you see yourself riding bulls? Because, if you do it, you're going to get hurt. Just question of when and how bad.
The last year and a half ago, I was going to be done. When I turned 30, I thought about making the finals. And I was thinking about being done, but when I see myself make a ride like that, it's definitely hard to give it up.
Yeah,
but,
there's no reason. There's no reason.
The last couple years, I haven't been the NFR in 3 years, and I still ended up in the top 30 those 3 years, but I wasn't making the kind of money or putting out the effort that I probably should, and have 2 kids now, so that kind of puts a damper on things. But this year, I made up my mind that I was going to go and I was going to make the Canadian finals, and if I made the NFR, that was going to be cool too. But it turned out to be one of my better years that I've ever had, and feeling pretty confident that I can ride against these young guys and I can win.
See, the deal is you are still the same guy that was in 2007 strapped that buckle on. And even before that, you're a guy that could have had a world buckle in 2 or 3 different years were it not for a circumstance, getting stepped on here, one thing or another. Everybody has those in their background, but there's no question in my mind of how good you ride, but the bull quality. Bulls aren't any ranker than they used to be, but there's so many more of them. You never, ever can take your foot off of the gas. Now, that's the only difference between old days and now. But to me, this is the best group of young, really good bull riders since 1988, 89, 90. 89, the year Lane died. I had retired, started back. I had a real job for 2 days. So I'd go back, but then you watch, Jim Sharp rode all 10. There was, Tough Hedeman, although Ted Noose. That group of guys, great bull riders. These guys that are in this group right now are pretty close to as good as they were then.
Yeah, it definitely feels good, and seeing these young guys, I'm tired of them whooping me. I want to beat them, and they got their mouths running a little bit back there, and when to just show them that I can still ride, they call me old and stuff, but I don't feel that old.
You'll get over it, I promise you.
Yeah.
How about a round of applause for a guy that, supposed to be at the hotel in bed, and here he is out here with us, and we are glad of it. Proud of Wesley Silcox.
Wesley Silcox, give him a hand. Thank you, folks. Very good.
Don't know whether he's going to ride tomorrow or Saturday, but it'll be one or the other. I suspect tomorrow. Yeah.
Round 8 is in the books, round 9 tomorrow night, but round 2 of the Boyd Gaming Shootout is tomorrow. We have 2 gentlemen that want to talk about that a little bit with us today, the success of today. Bob Tallman and Boyd Polhamus are both here. Would you welcome them to the stage here of National Finals tonight to come out and visit with us? Bob has paper in his hand. That means something good, huh?
My bad.
Bob and Boyd, I'm sorry you missed our buckle presentation because it's darned impressive, and the buckles by Montana Silversmiths are beautiful. We talked earlier that we talked with Jackie, almost 3,000 people today for the very first round of the Boyd Gaming Shootout, and it's a hit. It's a success.
Other than the fire marshal having a coronary, it was great.
I love your word, glitch.
Small glitch.
Well, fire marshals are paid to have coronaries, okay? You can't keep your job as a fire marshal unless you have a coronary, okay? So look, if you're a fan sitting in the stands watching, guys buck off, guys make it to the whistle. 7-second runs in the calf roping. You had a good time today. The product was outstanding.
Oh, I got a question for Joe. It's hard for me to keep remembering all this stuff to ask you, but I was Rory Lemon producing the show. They set the arena, the barrier and stuff up identical to what it is in Thomas and Mack. Now, I'm just getting this information. So how realistic is it time-wise to what you're seeing?
It's close.
Some.
The boxes are a little bit longer than they are at the Thomas and Mack. So when they set the barrier the same, it's going to be a little different feel. You're not going to get that, you're not as close to the animal when you hit the barrier as you are at the Thomas and Mack. So it's a little bit different. But, here's the deal. Those steers are jackpot steers. And there's a difference between rodeo steers and jackpot steers. And those calves, they weren't prepared and broke in and got ready by the top 15 guys that show up to the places to get them ready. So are they going to time as fast and the runs as fast? Maybe not, because of the preparation and the box size and everything, but it's real close.
The box is a 16-foot preferred panel. So you're 16 foot deep. Against a 12 or a 13 foot. It's a full stride, maybe difference inside. But here's the deal. The last 2 or 3 nights we've been sitting here talking about y'all coming, and some people waving their hands. Cool. 3,100 people today. Get ready tomorrow. 5,000 people. Let me explain it to you folks one more time. And we've been talking about
it, Lucy. I got some explaining to do.
Boyd and I and the team have been out talking about this rodeo since the 15th of June. We came here just before the real big summer run went. In every place that all of us, the Boyd Gaming guys, which is Boyd and I and Roger, Jody Carper, Wayne Brooks, every place we go, we tell people about the Chute-Out and how it's going to work, about the big money. And you can go online to boydgaming.com, go Boyd Gaming Events, and come and watch our show. Get room packages and get tickets. And the later it got, the more people that asked about it. And there are people from all over the United States and Canada that have came just for this, more maybe than the people that have been here for the NFR and haven't figured out that it's here yet. So Saturday, my prediction is, and I'd love to see it happen too, on Saturday is going to be a total sellout. The saddles are phenomenal. The buckles you gave these guys tonight,
our sponsorship,
phenomenal.
you know, I was blown away with how nice these people were to come in to be able to support Boyd Gaming. I just thought it was great.
Somebody explained to me how it's a bad deal that Jesse bails 84 points and wins a truckload of money.
It's not a bad. It's a great deal.
That's my point. That's my point. Now, the biggest deal in town is the National Finals Rodeo. And we upset the apple cart tonight. I'm telling you, everything I told you 2 nights ago, you can crumple that shit up and throw it out the window. Okay? Oh, dude. So, I have here my formerly nicotine stained
This
hands.
is going to be tedious but accurate because normally he don't write it down.
Yeah, I had to because this shit was mind-boggling. Okay?
We went upside down every event except one.
Okay, exactly. Bareback bronc riding champion if we stop after 8 rounds. And let me tell you something. That's a big frickin' if, okay? Because if you were here 2 nights ago, I was telling you if we stopped after 6 rounds. And everything I said 2 nights ago after 6 rounds is a total and complete lie. As this
I tried to tell him that last year.
I'm going to throw bones over here, okay? Not over there. This man said one year on the Gold Coast stage, he goes, you know what? Funny things happen in the short round. What do you mean, Joe? Funny things happen in the short round. And I followed it now. The closer you get to doing what you came here to do, winning a world title, the more pressure is put upon you to perform and to meet the demand that's placed in front of you. It doesn't matter if you got to be 8'5" in the calf roping to win the world. You'll be 8'6". And it will cheat you 20 ways to Sunday. This man made me wise beyond what I ever thought I could be just by saying funny shit happens in the short round, okay? Bareback bronc riding, your world champion tonight is Stephen Peebles, okay? He's got a 28-point lead in the average. That means the guy he's ahead of in the average can be 88, and Stephen can still be 60 and win the average, okay? He would win over $203,000, people. He's 26 years old. You hand me $203,000 at 26 years of age, I will show you the definition of crummy, okay? There is not a place in this town I would not have visited with that money, okay? Steer wrestling, Dakota Eldridge.
Who nobody even thought about.
Goes
you said
from
this.
13th to
Yes,
1st.
yes.
From 13th to 1st. He beats Hunter Keir by 20 grand. Again. Yep. There's $52,000 up the next 2 nights just to win first in the round. If I tell you they're beating somebody by 20 grand, that means all you got to do is finish second. Okay? This is wasted air. But I'm telling you this because it matters as you back into the box, run your hand in the rigging, rosin your rope, pick your horse up when you nod in the team rope, and all of this matters. It's in the brain of the people who are competing.
And don't think they don't know it.
That's my point.
That's what I always tell Boyd. Boyd and Bob was great at that.
Pisses me off more when they go, you jinxed him. You don't think he knew it? He knew it better than I knew it. Don't tell me I jinxed him by telling the fans.
And how good is Cody Till riding?
Hold up.
7 out of
None
8.
of that matters because let me tell you one thing that people don't understand in the audience, and I'm going to say this with both of them here. People know we're not stupid backing in the box. I've heard that a million times. Well, he shouldn't have said that. He jinxed you. Do you listen to him? If you ask Cody Ole, you ask me, when you turn around back in the box for a world championship, you know the only person I listen to is these guys, because they know exactly what I've got to do. I could give a rat's ass what you think sitting in the third row. I don't care if you're, come on, you know what you got to do. I don't care what you think. These two guys know what you have to do, so we do listen, and we already know, but it's reassurance. And don't think, if you're at this caliber to where these world champion contenders are, that they don't listen to what these two guys say. These guys matter, people.
Right. Thank you for that, Joe. I'll take it everywhere to the bank. World champions in the team roping. Tell me who you think right now. Shout it out. Who wins the world in the team roping? Yo-Yo and Junior. 2 rounds left to go, boys. 56,000. They go from 13 to first. Who do they beat? Who's their biggest threat?
Derek Begay.
Ron. Luke Brown, Colin Vanna. Bronc ride. Who wins it? Come on, people. You're here because you're smart. Who wins the Bronc ride?
Jacobs Crawley.
By how much?
37,000.
18 grand. Whoa, wait a little, there's a little hiccup in this. Jacobs is only 4 points ahead of Wade in the average. That's 80-84. That's 80-76. Okay? The difference between 1 and 2 is 13 grand. We're talking the difference right now being 18 grand with 2 rounds to go.
Still
that means
gotta
a
ride.
6th place finish. Does it? I can't wait for this shit. I'm sorry, people. I eat off of it. Okay. Who wins the tie-down roping if we stop right now? Keep dreaming. Trevor Brazil is a 3-time world champion in 1 freaking year.
Triple crown.
Trevor Brazil at 39 years of age. Don't give me this age shit, people. What matters is right here. He's a frickin' champion. The difference between people who choke in the 8th round and people who tie the arena record at 6'5" is because there's a champion somewhere down in there that separates them from everybody else. That's why he's got 8 and he's got 8. Okay? Sorry. Apologize.
Hey, and I said from the get-go,
I'm getting on my soapbox now.
Boyd, you said it early in the week. Hey, Trevor Brazil, he's had a triple crown. When Justin was born, he had a triple crown.
Shadow,
Style was
I pray
born,
for you.
and Shadow's got another one, triple crown.
I'm just telling you, he's going to breed you like a stud horse.
They talked about it. They talked about it tonight.
I'm talking about
tonight's
curl
run.
your lip and say, rear up, Flecka, I'm in this. Okay.
I don't know if I'd have said that.
Barrel racing. Who wins the world championship in the barrel racing? Callie and Dylan. 13 grand. They would win it over Sarah Rose. She'd win 127 grand. Okay.
Boyd, how far did Lisa drop?
Lisa's in a bad shape. Lisa is $55,000 if you pay it out now. She could have withstood 1 barrel. She can't take 2. She can't take 2. And it breaks my heart for 2 reasons. Number 1, she's on my fantasy team. That's very narcissistic. I will admit it. It's narcissistic. Damn, I'm my fantasy team. But secondly, her husband Grady is a great calf roper. She served on the school board in her hometown. She's got 4 kids. She's 50 years old. She's a mom first.
And Louis deserves it.
And Louis deserves it. She's a barrel racer, but she's a mom first. She's a barrel racer second. You look at the number of rodeos Lisa Lockhart went to get here, and the number 3 spot, 30. You know how many Fallon went to? 97. And I love Fallon. Enter. If you want to win, enter. I have no problem with that. I'm just simply saying that being a mom is first to Lisa. Yep. And Fallon's not a mom, okay? And I'm just, they face different
Just
stuff.
depends on what you want.
Yep, bull riding.
What do you want, Donnie?
I wanted the gold. So I'd have been right there behind Fallon going to 97 or 102.
I thought you were going to say a 15-year-old boy. Boy, do I feel comfortable. Okay. So, Sage.
It depends on where you park your hair.
Listen, Sage over Cody right now by 18 grand, but Cody's got a bull to give, okay? Sage just dropped from second to third in the average because he's been riding. You got to give Sage credit. He's going to ride most of them.
Where is Joe Frost now? After
Look here.
I love your thought, and I won't argue with you, but the math says buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. The math says if you win, you'll get $100 million. Okay. The reality is
Sage
it's gonna be tough for Joe
Sage
to do
Kimsey is most likely going to win the world championship. Now that bull ran out from under him tonight, was kind of a cheap shot, but you know, he's still a bull ahead of everybody except Cody Teal. He's 2 bulls behind him, so he probably, you know, you have to
The
be
worst
really
he's going to
lucky.
do is third. What's third? 43 grand.
Okay, but he's
Put
gonna,
that on his
he's-
winnings now, and it's tough
he's
to
gonna
pass.
win something else when he rides 1 or 2 of these other bulls.
Sage is tonight.
Okay, so
Donnie.
he's really hot, and because he thought the bull fell down
Yes.
with him, and was really upset, and he didn't. He just scooted out of the buck and chute and turned back, which was an absolute cheap shot. But that's the NFR. That's what you have to deal with.
You gotta
And
ride 'em.
It don't matter what your name is. And
Can I ask Joe a question real quick? Because I got this today from Alexis Bloomer over at Cowboy Christmas. You tell me, what is the matter with Tough Cooper? That was her question to me. What is the matter with Tough Cooper? Is there a matter? Should we be concerned? How would you describe Tough Cooper's NFR and why he's struggling?
I would say the first thing is it doesn't matter how great a horse is in certain setups. You have got to have a horse that fits the setup. And I think that horse he's riding is one of the best horses in the business, but he doesn't fit this setup. And I think when you get off on a bad start, you have to be very disciplined and very gritty to bounce back. Donnie and I have talked about starting off on the backside of it. Luke Branquino's going through it, right? You know, he went through it. I think Tough hasn't really been in that situation to capitalize on the downslope to make the top of the hill better. And I think he'll learn from this, grow from this, but I don't think it's going to get much better this week.
I think you learn way more when you lose than when you win.
Amen.
And it's just like Joe Frost. So if you watched him ride that bull tonight, the body language that you got to see tonight doesn't get a lot better than that. A year ago, he started 4 for 4, you know, and he's thinking, man, this is going to be easy. For, you know, my career is off like a rocket. Comes out, he's 0 for 3 this first right out here. And I said, we're going to see how he handles adversity. Well, he's showing you how he handles it, and there's a difference.
My answer to Alexis was, I don't know what's going up in this head of his, okay? But he's pulled in a lot of different directions. He's a very popular cowboy.
So is everybody else.
I agree
A lot
with
of
that.
people been through all that. That's part of the mentality part.
And I agree with that. But I didn't want to pin it on the horse. I said this. He's 25 years old. He's been here 8 times. He's won 3 world championships. He's a $1 million cowboy.
No excuses.
You can't say it's physical. You can't say it's physical. Something up here.
It goes back to the old deal Walter always told me. You compete from here down, and you win from here up. And when here up isn't working, here down can't make up for it.
And what you said just a while ago, the reflection in the mirror, the guy looking back at you when you're brushing your teeth. I've got to be honest with him.
If you go to ducking from that guy, you got problems.
All right.
He's ducking right now.
Yep. There are 2 more rounds to go, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I can't wait. Round 2 of the Shootout.
You want to know what's
How
stealing?
good is it?
Stealing is announcing this son of a bitch and having people pay you to watch it. I'm telling you, I'd pay $1,000 for a nosebleed seat. I'm a fan of rodeo. I'm a fan of the guys that play it. I'm a fan of the mental game that you have to survive, whether you're Tough Cooper or Stephen Peebles, to get to where your ultimate dream is of going, even though if you get there at $200,000, that isn't even a signing bonus for a 7th round draft pick. You're playing this game because you love it, not for the money, fame, and fortune, because there's way too little of each. And I sit up here and I go, they're paying me to describe to people what's going on out here? Oh, man, I got the greatest job on planet freaking Earth.
I didn't think we had that much in common. I really didn't. You know, because that guy,
Y'all really
those
don't.
football guys and stuff, they have to, whenever they say jump, they got to say how far. We don't have to.
Exactly. This is amazing.
Give all of these guys a hand, will you? It's just awesome stuff. Be at the Chute-Out tomorrow at 2 o'clock, the NFR Round 9 tomorrow night. I'd like to ask you to just stay right there where you are. We have prizes to give away here this evening, and we will do that as soon as we roll our closing credits up there. But we thank you for being here tonight for National Finals tonight. We hope you had a good time. We'll give prizes away in just a second. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Get your tickets to the Cinch Boyd Gaming Chute-Out Rodeo, December 10th, 11th, and 12th, right next door. Prices start at $20 for the new way to rodeo. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music and dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. We're going to dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.